Do you want to know how to be bulletproof in life? Well, stick around because I'm going to talk about it. Let's check it out. Hello. Thanks for coming back. Appreciate it. Hope you're well. Want to be bulletproof in life and just kind of be, I suppose, resilient and just not be affected by...
I don't know.
Well, it's something that I guess most of us probably want to do that. I know I have done and do to, always to a degree, and I'm sure you as well want to sort of not be affected by all the kind of around and just kind of be able to handle things and relax and just kind of get on with life in a fun way. Well, I've got a few things I want to talk about this subject, and I think I would say it's a lot easier than perhaps you think. That said, it does need some practice to do. It's not something you can just do off the bat, but I want to kind of explain a few things that might help you to kind of build up that resilience and become kind of bulletproof. Just as a side note, this has got nothing to do with Bulletproof coffee, which if you haven't heard of is amazing. I'll put a link in the description. No kind of affiliate stuff, just about what it is. You might think it's bonkers if you don't know what it is. It's basically coffee with butter.
No sir, I don't like it.
But it's truly amazing and tastes fantastic and really good for you. Check out the link. You can see what it is for yourself. Right, so how to become bulletproof and resilient and just solid. Now, it's not about being super kind of robotic and having no emotions and just this sort of what's perceived as being ultra stoic with no kind of feeling or anything, almost said like a robot, and just kind of go through life just very... That's not what I'm referring to, and in reality that's not being stoic at all. But Stoicism and the whole Stoic philosophy concept does kind of come into this to a degree. So I'm also gonna, as I always do, shout from the rooftops about the amazing book The Obstacle is the Way by Ryan Holiday. Link in description for that, because it is such a kind of modern approach to Stoicism. And I didn't know anything about Stoic philosophy until I read it, and it's a purely amazing book, and it kind of just explains how you can use the concept of Stoicism in the modern world that we all live in, and how it would just sort of help. And so what I'm talking about today is kind of uses that, I guess, to a degree, but it's more kind of looking at things, I suppose ultimately looking at things a bit more objectively as opposed to just rushing in. I'm kind of jumping all over the place because that's how my head is. First thing I want to talk about, which is a bit of a tangent, but you'll see, it'll all make sense, trust me, is karate, or just martial arts in general. When you learn martial arts, you sort of do all the kind of various moves, that's not how you do martial arts, that's more sort of daz hands than anything else. You sort of do the movements and you repeat them and repeat them and repeat them. And the idea being is that you learn the motor skills so they become kind of automatic. So when someone maybe attacks you, you block automatically. You don't have to think about, oh, I've got to block them, because if you have to think about it, it's probably too late. So the idea is to build up this sort of autonomy of reaction and movement based on things happening. So it said it's automated, it's just improving motor skills and repetitive until you've just got them and they're all automated. So that's the principle there. Now we bring everything back to my point. When it comes to things like sort of personal development and learning how to better react in certain situations, so maybe you don't become so stressed, or you don't sort of react in perhaps an overly exaggerated or super negative way. But I think one of the problems is what we don't do is kind of practice them enough. It's all well and good to kind of read the book, go to the seminar, do the course. You say, okay, I've learned that's interesting. But then that's it. We don't sort of repeat and kind of really hammer those skills in like we would do on the karate. So when a situation arises where those skills or the utilization of those skills will be like hugely powerfully important, you almost have to go, okay, what do I do in this situation? And if you can do that, if you can then sort of be quite perhaps stoic and go, okay, let me just remove myself from this situation a moment. What's the better way to react in this? Okay, reacting like that is not serving me very well or others. I shouldn't react like that. I should react this better way. If you can do that, then you're all Gucci, because you're kind of looking at things objectively in a very stoic way, in a very kind of thought-based way. However, often what happens is a situation arises and your kind of gut instinct or knee-jerk reaction takes over, and you do that thing because this better way, this training, this course, seminar that you've kind of learned better ways to sort of mold your situation, they haven't become instinctive. They're sort of something you learned once and have kind of parked over there. And so the situation happens and you almost immediately revert back to old you and react, whether it's negatively or aggressively or whatever it may be. And it's almost like you never learned or studied or worked out the better ways. And once you're in that situation, you're then not going to go, hang on, let me just think, that wasn't the best way. Again, if you can, brilliant, because you can maybe back out of that negative situation. But often, you're in it and you're kind of going down this sort of aggression road or negative road, you know, however you want to term it. It's hard then to sort of stop and back out of it. One, it's you lose face, and that's, you know, hard, let's be honest. And whilst it's maybe the right thing to do, it's even more difficult because you've kind of gone in and then it's hard to go, well, I'm sorry, I was wrong. Well, I was wrong, everyone, because then you're going to look like a bit of an arse. Also, it's the case often you don't think of that. You're sort of so in the zone of the argument or the situation that rational thinking is just long gone, forgotten about. When you are learning sort of techniques, or through meditation or say courses, watching YouTube videos,
Subscribe if you haven't. I'd love you to.
it's not the case of just sort of watching something once and you're done, because it's unlikely you're going to absorb that and it's going to become like an automated response, an automated thinking process when you're put into a situation. It's just something you've done once and gone. It's vitally important that if you found something that you resonate with, whether it's a sort of a training, a course, or whatever that is, that you repetitively remind yourself of it until it becomes habitual, till it becomes more of a gut instinct reaction and it overthrows your original negative way. Same as the karate, you know, you go to one karate lesson, you learn the bits, someone throws a punch at you, you're not going to go, you're not going to block it because it's not your instinction, you're going to duck or whatever. It's that thing of kind of getting that and changing how you naturally approach or naturally react to certain situations. Only comes from the repetition of the skill, bolstering that knowledge and bolstering that information into you so you retain it. If you've learnt something once, it's not going to stay in. So therefore, I wholeheartedly recommend anything you're going to do, whether it's meditation or the whole E plus R equals O, you know, event plus reaction or response equals outcome. If you're looking at stuff like that, things are going to happen and how you react or respond to it will affect the outcome. You can't change things happening, that's it, but your response or reaction to that will determine how you feel and how others feel, etc. That's great, you learn that now today, you take that away, say, great Daz, thanks for that. But unless you kind of just keep repeating that to yourself and reminding yourself of it, you'll forget it by the end of tomorrow. And then it was like, yeah, nice bit of information on a video I once saw, but that was it. You've got to kind of remind yourself. This is why things like journaling comes in really, really useful, and writing your goals down. It's good to have goals, obviously, but just having the goals and that's it. Again, you might think about them, but it's not really solid. It's often said that, you know, write all your goals down every single day. Grant Cardone talks about it. He's got books and books and books. Literally, at the end of every day before bed, he writes out his goals every single day, because it's like bang, bang, bang. It's that repetition. It's doing it, doing it, doing it. And then they're solid in your mind before you go to bed. Also, when you wake up in the morning, just write them all out. Yes, you're going to go through lots of paper and books, but you're just planting that information in. You're planting those goals or the affirmations or whatever it may be into your head constantly. And things like, you know, E plus R equals O, whatever it may be, you're kind of just constantly reiterating the points to you, and so it's going in. And when this situation happens, always look at it a bit more objectively and then think rationally about it, as opposed to
just react.
Because then you can think about things logically. Is it good someone cuts you up on the road to like shout and swear and give them the finger? No, it doesn't achieve anything. It doesn't make Doesn't change the situation, they've still cut you up. They're in front, great, you know, so what? But you shouting and getting angry,
I'll tell them.
well done, you told them, great. And what? He's still in front of you, nothing's changed. But you've kind of got all riled up and annoyed. You know, that's not doing you any good. You may well annoy him, so it doesn't really help him. But there's also the situation where, you know, the whole road rage, there's enough nutters about, he could get out of his car with a gun. And then there's absolutely no winners at all.
But you told him.
As you lie there bleeding. What does what I'm gonna do achieve? Is it gonna serve me well? And if not, and
yeah, I'm telling him,
it's not serving you well. Get this kind of process, this type of better, clearer thinking behaviour bolstered into your life by repetition. Just keep repeating and just write down, you know, whenever someone cuts me up, I'm just going to stop, breathe and not react because it doesn't serve me. But this kind of repetition is getting it into your head constantly, like the karate training, exactly the same, so that when a situation happens you automatically react in the better way as opposed to the negative knee-jerk reaction and all that crap. So hopefully you got some value from this. That's it for today. If you have, I'm going to change it up and say smash a like, subscribe. And for now, I will say goodbye and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye. Thanks again for watching, guys. I really do appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed already, make sure you do so down here and check out my other video down here. And remember, live your best life and profit from that passion. See you next time. Bye-bye.